Okay, so you guys have sent in some really interesting stuff about breakfast and how it affects like your whole day.
Yeah,
And I'm excited to kind of dig into that, like unlock some of the science and the nutrition behind what makes a breakfast really good.
for sure. I think, we've gone beyond just thinking of it as fuel.
Yeah.
What we're seeing increasingly is that it's really programming your brain and body for the next 8+ hours.
Oh, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
It's like setting the operating system for your day.
I like that. Yeah, and one of the studies that you sent over from the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health really hit on this,
Yeah.
talking about how breakfast quality is linked to focus and productivity and even like your food choices later in the day.
Yeah, that ripple effect is so key.
Right.
And here's something to really think about too. Like one of the top breakfast foods that we're going to be talking about contains this compound called beta-glucan. And beta-glucan has been shown to not only help lower your LDL cholesterol, but also reduce your risk of heart disease.
Wow.
So we're talking about benefits that go way beyond just immediate energy.
Right. So this idea of breakfast being more than just a meal keeps coming up.
Uh-huh.
The material that you sent over talks about the breakfast system. So I kind of want to dive into that a little bit.
Yeah.
What exactly does that entail?
Yeah, I think what's really fascinating is to move away from the idea of breakfast as an isolated event
Okay.
and instead see it as the first step in this whole cascade of effects that really, influence your physical and mental well-being for the whole day.
Right.
It's all about how interconnected things are.
Yeah, it's easy to just grab something because you're hungry. Right.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I need fuel in the tank.
Yeah.
But this system idea suggests that it's much more strategic than that.
I think that's exactly right. And the research points to that if you only think of breakfast as just satisfying immediate hunger,
Right.
then you're really missing out on how it connects to everything that follows.
Okay.
You can think of it like this, like single gear in a complex machine.
Yeah.
Might seem small, but if it's not working correctly, it can throw the whole thing off.
Okay.
And breakfast is that initial gear for your day.
So what's the main way that this like gear of breakfast starts to influence all these other processes?
Yeah, so a central element is blood sugar stability.
Mm.
So what you eat for breakfast has a very direct and significant impact on your glucose levels.
Right.
And those glucose levels really affect how well your brain functions.
Oh, okay.
So when you have a breakfast that's loaded with like simple sugars,
Hmm.
you might get that initial burst of mental clarity,
Mm-hmm.
but it's almost always followed by a dip. That feeling of brain fog and fatigue that sets in kind of mid-morning?
Oh, we all know that feeling, right?
Yeah, totally.
Like the 10:30 slump after the sugary cereal or whatever.
Exactly.
So that's not just us imagining things.
No, not at all. And it's not even just about your ability to concentrate,
Okay.
These blood sugar swings, they also have an impact on your emotional state, contributing to mood swings that can, affect your interactions and your decisions all day long.
Wow. So it's really much wider than just feeling tired.
Yeah, exactly.
And it gets even more interesting with this idea of a nutritional domino effect
Yeah.
that you talked about.
Yeah, this is where it gets really, really interesting.
Yeah. What is that?
So the research suggests that the quality of your breakfast actually influences the food choices you make some 8 to 10 hours later.
Really?
So we're talking lunchtime, even what you're going to reach for at dinner.
Wow.
So that donut or sugary granola bar in the morning
Yeah.
isn't just affecting your energy before noon, it's potentially setting the stage for less nutritious choices throughout the whole day.
So it's like one domino knocking over the next in your dietary decisions.
Totally.
Okay. So it's almost like this seemingly small choice
Yeah.
in the morning can have these really long-lasting consequences.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why breakfast is such a key leverage point for overall nutrition.
Right.
It's a prime opportunity to set yourself up for success for the whole day.
Yeah.
And a huge part of that leverage comes down to, the specific mix of protein, carbs, and fats in your breakfast.
Okay.
The macronutrient composition.
Right, because the material talks about how different macronutrients activate different metabolic pathways in the body.
That's exactly right. So when your breakfast includes a good balance of protein and fiber, you're engaging these metabolic systems that release energy in a much more gradual and sustained way.
Okay.
It's a totally different process compared to a breakfast that's primarily simple carbs, which is going to trigger that rapid energy spike and crash that we talked about.
So it's not just about how much energy we get, but really the quality of that energy and how our body is processing it.
Precisely.
Right.
And the benefits actually extend beyond immediate energy and mental clarity.
Right.
The research also points to connections with, your performance during exercise,
Right.
affecting both your strength and your endurance.
Okay.
Surprisingly, it even plays a role in how your body manages stress by influencing your cortisol patterns.
See, that's so interesting because I wouldn't immediately link what I eat for breakfast to my stress levels later in the day.
Right, but it makes sense when you think about how these systems are connected.
Yeah.
And maybe even more surprising, your morning nutrition can even contribute to better sleep quality later on
Really?
through its effects on hormonal balance and blood sugar regulation.
So it's almost like breakfast is this central control panel
Mm-hmm.
that influences all these different aspects of our health and well-being.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
And within this system, there are certain breakfast components that really stand out
Yeah.
as what the research calls system optimizers.
Hmm.
So these are specific foods or nutrients that have disproportionately positive and synergistic benefits.
So it's not just providing calories. It's got all these other compounds that kind of kickstart these beneficial processes. So let's dive into some of these system optimizers. And let's start with protein,
Yeah.
because the material that you sent really emphasizes protein as like a key player here.
Absolutely. I think what's fascinating here is the direct link between consuming protein in the morning
Yeah.
and your brain's production of neurotransmitters within about 30 minutes of waking up.
Wow.
And these neurotransmitters have a huge impact on your ability to focus and your emotional stability for the next 4 to 6 hours.
So getting enough protein first thing really sets the stage for brain function.
Totally. And, morning protein delivers those essential amino acids,
Right.
which are the building blocks that your body needs to create these crucial chemical messengers in your brain.
Okay.
And the research highlights this common issue that, a lot of typical breakfasts are heavily weighted toward carbohydrates,
Right.
which leads to this protein deficit, right, when your brain needs those amino acids the most.
So what are some of these protein powerhouses that we should be aiming for in the morning? Eggs seem to get a lot of positive attention.
Absolutely. Eggs are really a complete protein package.
Okay.
They contain all 9 essential amino acids that your body can't produce on its own.
Hmm.
And beyond just protein, they're a great source of choline, which is a vital nutrient for brain development and healthy liver function, and it's one that many people don't get enough of.
And it sounds like the benefits of eating eggs for breakfast even go beyond like that impressive nutritional content.
Yeah, that's right.
Like what else?
So research from the Journal of the American College of Nutrition shows that people who consume eggs for breakfast tend to eat fewer total calories throughout the entire day,
Right.
suggesting that the protein in eggs plays a role in regulating key hunger hormones like ghrelin and leptin.
Hmm.
So it helps you feel fuller and more satisfied for longer.
That's huge because feeling satiated in the morning can help you avoid those mid-morning snack cravings that can totally derail healthy eating.
Totally.
What about Greek yogurt?
Yeah.
That's another one that comes up a lot.
Greek yogurt is another really powerful option, primarily because of its significantly higher protein content. So the straining process that it goes through removes a lot of the whey.
Yeah.
And it results in a much creamier texture and a much higher concentration of protein compared to regular yogurt. You often get around 25 grams of protein per cup with relatively few calories.
That's a lot of protein.
Yeah. And a lot of Greek yogurts also contain beneficial probiotics like bifidobacteria,
Right.
which offer this fantastic dual benefit of, supporting digestive health and contributing to a stronger immune system.
Okay, so it's like a protein source with an added layer of goodness.
Totally.
Now, for those mornings when time is really tight and convenience is key,
Yeah.
the material mentions protein shakes as a viable option.
Yeah, protein shakes can be a really convenient and time-efficient way to make sure you're getting a good dose of protein in the morning.
Right.
And what's great about them is their versatility.
Yeah.
You can easily incorporate fruits, vegetables, seeds, nuts to further boost their nutritional value and customize the flavor,
Yeah,
to your liking.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
And the last protein powerhouse that's specifically mentioned is cottage cheese.
Cottage cheese is another excellent choice.
Okay.
It offers a really impressive protein to calorie ratio. So you can typically get around 24 grams of protein in just 1 cup with about 180 calories.
Wow.
And this makes it a fantastic option for helping stabilize blood sugar levels and promoting sustained mental clarity throughout your morning.
So it really does sound like prioritizing protein at breakfast offers this wide array of benefits.
Yeah.
From, sharper brain function to better appetite control throughout the day.
Totally.
Now let's move on to another crucial component of a good breakfast, which is fiber.
Yeah.
The material talks about fiber foundations.
Yeah, this is where we see a different but equally important kind of metabolic magic happening.
Mm.
So the fiber in your breakfast isn't just adding bulk to your digestive system. It actually goes through this transformation during digestion and creates this physical barrier that fundamentally changes how your body processes energy and nutrients.
So it's not just passively passing through, it's like actively involved in the process.
Exactly. And fiber actively plays this role in regulating both the physical and metabolic aspects of digestion.
Right.
It helps to slow down the entire digestive process,
Right.
which in turn, has a direct impact on how quickly glucose is absorbed into your bloodstream.
Mm.
This affects your insulin response and even plays a significant role in how your body manages cholesterol levels.
And the material makes a point of distinguishing between different types of fiber and their effects.
Yeah, that's a really important distinction.
Yeah. What are they?
So soluble fiber is the type that dissolves in water
Okay.
and forms that gel-like substance that we mentioned.
Right.
And this gel is really key for slowing down digestion and the absorption of sugars and fats.
Mm.
Insoluble fiber, on the other hand, doesn't dissolve. And it primarily adds bulk to your stool, which is important for regularity.
Yeah.
Both types are important for overall health, but they have slightly different effects on your energy levels and metabolic processes.
So let's talk about some specific fiber-rich breakfast foods.
Yeah.
Oatmeal is one that gets highlighted for its high concentration of beta-glucan.
Oatmeal is a prime example of the power of soluble fiber.
Okay.
Its high concentration of beta-glucan is really what makes it so special. So as it digests this beta-glucan, forms this viscous gel within your digestive tract.
Okay.
And this gel then physically traps cholesterol and bile acids, preventing your body from absorbing them as efficiently.
Wow.
It's like creating this natural filter in your system.
Yeah, and research from the Journal of Nutritional Reviews really backs this up, right?
Yeah.
It confirms beta-glucan's role in reducing the risk of cardiovascular disease.
That's right. So it's not just about that feeling of fullness you get from oatmeal.
Right.
It's actively changing your internal chemistry in a really beneficial way.
Over the long term.
Over the long term, and a single cup of dry oats also provides a decent amount of protein, about 10 grams. So, preparing your oatmeal with milk or adding a scoop of protein powder can enhance its protein content and make it even more balanced.
Another key fiber source is mentioned is whole wheat toast,
Yes.
as opposed to white bread.
Whole wheat toast offers a different but valuable kind of fiber advantage.
Okay.
So as a complex carbohydrate, it naturally provides a more sustained release of energy compared to refined grains like white bread, which are quickly broken down into sugar.
Okay.
But what's interesting is that the process of toasting whole wheat bread can actually slightly lower its glycemic index.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
How does toasting do that?
So toasting leads to this minor breakdown of some of the starches in the bread.
Hmm.
So it results in a slower, more gradual release of glucose into your bloodstream after you eat it.
Okay.
So this contributes to more stable energy levels throughout the morning,
Got it.
avoiding those spikes and crashes.
Okay. Of course, we can't overlook berries.
No.
They always seem to be, praised for their nutritional benefits.
Berries truly are like breakfast superstars.
Yeah.
They offer this great combination of, a good source of fiber for digestive regulation, but also a rich supply of these potent antioxidants, particularly anthocyanins, which are responsible for those vibrant colors.
Right.
And these antioxidants are powerful inflammation fighters, and they've been linked to a reduced risk of chronic diseases like heart disease and type 2 diabetes.
And the material recommends incorporating a variety of different types of berries.
Absolutely.
If possible.
By including like blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, blackberries, you're getting a more diverse range of these beneficial antioxidants.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So these fiber-rich choices, from oatmeal to whole wheat toast to a handful of berries,
Yeah.
they really do create this interconnected support network for our digestive system and that time-release energy system for our brains and bodies.
Exactly. They work together synergistically to keep things running smoothly in your gut and provide that steady, reliable stream of energy for a good 3 to 4 hours.
After you eat.
Yeah. Which has, knock-on effects for both your physical and mental performance.
Now let's move on to what the material refers to as metabolic catalysts.
Okay.
This sounds really intriguing. Like, The unsung heroes of our breakfast.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. This section shifts our focus from just the fuel we're providing to our bodies to how efficiently our bodies can use that fuel at a cellular level.
Yeah.
So these metabolic catalysts are specific compounds found in foods that can optimize our energy production pathways and help our bodies fight off disease. And they're often overlooked in traditional breakfast advice.
And it sounds like some of these might be foods that people have like common misconceptions about.
Yeah.
Flax seeds are mentioned first.
Flax seeds are a perfect example of a food that's packed with underappreciated benefits. So they're a rich source of alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA, which is an essential omega-3 fatty acid. And this is well known for its ability to help reduce inflammatory markers in the body.
Okay.
But flax seeds also provide this fantastic combo of both soluble and insoluble fiber, as well as lignans, which act as powerful antioxidants, and they even have some phytoestrogenic properties.
Wow.
And on top of all that, they contain important minerals like magnesium and selenium, which are crucial cofactors for these enzyme systems that drive cellular energy production.
That's an incredible amount of benefit packed into something so small.
Right.
Next up on this list of metabolic catalysts are nuts.
Nuts have a really impressive nutritional profile.
Okay.
And a 2022 research review confirmed their link to a reduced risk of cardiovascular disease.
Wow.
They're a great source of magnesium, which, as we mentioned with flax seeds, acts as a crucial cofactor for literally hundreds of enzyme systems.
Okay.
Involved in everything from energy production and blood sugar control to nerve function. They also provide heart-healthy monounsaturated fats and important antioxidants like vitamin E and selenium.
Okay.
The key here is to opt for plain, unprocessed nuts to avoid added salt, sugar, or unhealthy oils, which can negate some of their benefits.
That's a good reminder.
Yeah.
Bananas are also on this list, which might surprise some people who think of them just for potassium.
Yeah, bananas offer a really unique benefit through their content of resistant starch.
Okay.
Which is a type of carb that doesn't get fully digested in the small intestine. So instead, it acts as a prebiotic, meaning it feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut, helping to promote a healthy gut microbiome and potentially prevent bloating. And yes, they're also an excellent source of potassium, which, as you mentioned, is an essential electrolyte for maintaining healthy blood pressure, supporting overall heart health, and even aiding in proper muscle function.
And then there's coffee, which is a non-negotiable for a lot of people.
I know, right?
So what does the research say about that?
Coffee often gets a mixed reputation, but it offers more than just that caffeine kick to wake you up. It's actually rich in chlorogenic acids and other antioxidants that can help neutralize harmful free radicals in your body and reduce cellular damage. And there's also growing research suggesting that coffee may be linked to a reduced risk of type 2 diabetes.
Wow.
Possibly by influencing how your body metabolizes glucose.
Interesting.
And the recommendation generally is to skip the added sugar and heavy cream to maximize these potential benefits.
And for those who maybe are a little more sensitive to coffee or just prefer a different beverage, green tea is offered as a beneficial alternative.
Green tea is a wonderful, gentler option, providing a moderate amount of caffeine along with L-theanine, which is an amino acid known to promote a state of calm focus by counteracting some of those jittery effects that caffeine can sometimes cause. And it's also a rich source of EGCG, a powerful antioxidant that's been linked to a reduced risk of cognitive decline and neurodegenerative disorders.
So these metabolic catalysts, they do play a vital role in optimizing how our bodies function and generate energy.
Absolutely. And they're often overlooked, but they're really important.
Right. Like they're kind of the supporting cast.
Yeah.
That helps all the main players, the protein and the fiber, perform even more effectively.
Totally.
Well, this has been a really, really insightful deep dive into the science of breakfast.
Yeah.
So to bring it all together, what is like the most important thing to remember when it comes to crafting an ideal breakfast?
Yeah, I think the crucial takeaway is that it's not about rigidly following a set of rules. Or, adhering to some perfect breakfast formula. It's really about developing an understanding of the intricate and interconnected systems within your body and how the nutritional choices you make in the morning directly influence them.
So it really comes back to this idea of systems thinking and applying it to something as fundamental as our breakfast choices.
Exactly. When you start to see breakfast through that lens,
Yeah.
you realize that every bite you take is a strategic decision
Hmm.
with ripple effects that, extend way beyond just satisfying your hunger.
Right.
It has a real impact on your cognitive performance, your emotional regulation, and your overall physical vitality for hours to come.
And it reinforces this idea that our morning plate is like this leverage point
Yeah.
in our daily nutrition.
Totally. It's the central hub that connects to and influences so many different biological processes.
So instead of just thinking of it as this routine meal,
Yeah.
start to view it as this deliberate investment in your well-being and the potential of your day.
I love that.
So as you're thinking about your next breakfast,
Yeah.
consider how consciously incorporating these insights
Mm-hmm.
can fundamentally reshape not just your mornings, but the entire trajectory of your day.
I think so.
What small informed change could you make that might have the biggest positive ripple effect for you?
Right. It's definitely something worth considering.
It is.
And we'll see you next time for another deep dive.
Bye, everyone.